So I have a pan, and I'm going to put a couple tablespoons of olive oil in here. Now, just like so many other things, when you're starting out and you're browning meat of any kind, you need to make sure you don't crowd the pan too much. So I'm going to try to just get this in. I don't need to do absolutely every piece separately, but you need to make sure that most of the surface of the meat is actually touching that pan, because this is how we start to build our flavor. Absent that beefiness, that big beefiness flavor that we are all come to expect with our chili, we need to build it in the pan with the chicken. So a little bit more. I'm going to do this in batches. But you can see that there's space around here, and I'm going to leave it. I want to make sure that it gets brown. Salt. Don't forget to season your meat once it gets in the pan. And we're going to leave it there for a few minutes. Now, have you ever gone through the supermarket and you've gone to buy your own salsa or something, and you see on the jars, fire roasted? So I decided, in order again to have a technique, in order to bring big flavor into our chili, that I would sort of try to recreate that fire roasted thing. So I'm taking my vegetables and I'm broiling them in the oven until they get charred, black. Don't worry about it. That's where the flavor is. Now, with the garlic, and I have 4 cloves, I am not peeling them because I don't want blackened garlic. That can get to have a little bit of an off bitter taste. So I'm just keeping on the skins and letting the skins get charred, and that'll bring in some smoky flavor. And then 1 jalapeno pepper. You may be saying, only 1, I want it more spicy. Well, I have a trick because I have more spice in this chili. But the thing is, I actually tried it once with 2 jalapenos, and it was a little bit too spicy. Now, I always recommend that you taste, ooh, that's a spicy one. It's strange. Sometimes these are like sweet green peppers, and sometimes they're super spicy. This one's spicy, so I do not want more than 1, no matter what. Oh, yeah. See that nice brown, golden crispiness? That is exactly what you want. And you can see it's almost like a non-stick skillet now, because we got the chance to have that nice coating there. It's kind of like forms a protective flavor shield, which is exactly what we want in this chicken. So I'm just going to turn this all over. And once I get it turned over, yes, one more thing we need is seasoning. I don't have to be so specific this time if I turn a few pieces over at the same time, because I've started to really build that color. See, look at that. And if you look down into that pan, that right there, those are more. Anyway, I have a blender here, and I just want to get all the tomatoes and the jalapeno right into the blender. I can just tilt it over here. Don't miss any of the juices. Just perfectly like that. Get your top on. And give it, I always like to pulse. If you just put it right on liquefy, then you might end up with a texture you're not crazy about right away. So first pulse. And then off. I like a little bit of texture, not too much, but a little. And this is just perfect. Smells great. Okay, so this is all finished. This is ready to go, and now here comes all of our spicing. Now, I don't always use a prepared chili powder, but I'm doing it in this chili. Sometimes I like to use whole chilies. A prepared chili powder, get your best quality. I'm using just about a 1/4 cup, and it seems like a lot, but again, we need to bring in some flavor here. It's usually got cayenne, paprika, some chili powder, a little bit of oregano, a bay leaf. That's the kind of thing that is inside the prepared chili mix. Now, I think it's important to really cook off dried spices a little bit, bring some of the raw flavor off the spice, and to start to, bring up some of that golden flavor from the onions and garlic. And so while that cooks away for a second, I'm bringing in another layer of heat, chipotle peppers. Create a little bit of mystery, give the chicken a lot of help, and then end up in the end with something just as satisfied as a regular beef chili. So make sure that you really chop this up so that you have it almost into a kind of a puree. Get this into your pan. Stir this around. And that's a little spicy, so you want to keep your hands clean. You don't want to suddenly rub your eye, which I've done before. Stir this around. And now back into this pot goes my brown chicken. Little pieces have, ooh, that spice is starting to smell so good. You can see here how all this chicken has even shrunk a little bit. You might only have had chili with ground meat, which is super, super, super fine. And just having a chunky chili is a whole new thing. Give this a try just for that reason. You know, typical beef chili that is really authentic, which supposedly came from San Antonio, Texas, they call it a good old bowl of red. That is really cubed beef. It's not ground up at all. So we can stir this around a little bit, continue to pull up the pieces a little, and all those spices are just getting blended into that chicken. And already we've got enough flavor here to keep any chili lover happy, believe me. So next, our pureed fire roasted vegetables. Stir it up, let it simmer, and the other nice thing, because it's chicken thighs and it's tender pretty much already, it just needs to simmer away for about 20 minutes. Then we have. Thanks for watching. Hungry for more? Click here for more great recipes, and to subscribe, click here. Check back every week for more craveable recipes, leave a comment, and tell me what you think. And don't forget, head over to our other channels for Everyday Food with Sarah Carey, Martha Stewart Weddings, and the Martha Stewart channel.